Hi guys, I was out with Aaron the other day, and he says to me, "Shane, tell me that story about when you went to see that girl." And in the end, he said to me, "Shane, do a commentary on that. You got to do a commentary on that." I was like, it's probably not a bad idea since it makes him laugh a lot. So I'm gonna tell you a story of well, me going to see a girl, I guess. So, I'll give you a little backstory so you understand the severity and all that bullshit. There was this chick, and I'd been after her for a good 6 months. I was probably about 17, 18 years old at the time. You know, I was after this chick, you know, and she was, how do I say this? She was, like, kind of semi-demi, almost not even close to internet famous, but to about 100 guys, to about 100 people in the Yu-Gi-Oh community, and I use Yu-Gi-Oh community is going in air quotes right now, but everyone wanted her. She was probably one of the only girls on the scene, and she was kind of hot as well. I mean, I thought she was hot, and I've been after her for 6 months. You know, it was just, you know, go fuck yourself, pretty much, just pissing about with me. But this day, I can't remember what happened, I can't remember why, but she says, "Come and see me." And I was like, well, at that point I was like, get a ticket, go. You know, I wasn't gonna let her say no to me. So she meant a lot to me. So I travelled to Exeter, which is the furthest I'd ever been away from home at the time. I mean, I'd never been on holidays in my life. I was from a poor family, never been out the country. So this is the furthest I've ever been, and it was the furthest I've ever been, and I was completely alone. I had nothing. You know, I didn't know how to travel. I was just totally new. I was a very, very young 17-year-old. You know, I didn't have much experience in fucking anything. This said, I travelled 4 hours to Exeter. It was like 2 or 3 trains, and it's fucking freezing. It's horrible, absolutely fucking horrible out. And all I've got on is I think it was a hoodie and a t-shirt and some jeans. So I have fuck all on. So it's freezing, and I was fucking gay. And I get that, and you know, we're texting and stuff. And she's like, meet me in this cafe. And I was like, okay. So I'm sat there. And, you know, I'm sat there and I'm just like, I've got a cup of coffee. And, well, this fat chick decides to start walking up to me. And she makes eye contact with me. And I'm like, oh my God, this is not happening to me. This is not happening to me. Oh my God. And, of course, my heart stops. And then she just asks if she can take the chair. And I actually always bothered me because why would she need another chair? Anyway, the chick finally makes it, and you know, she's not as good looking as she was in the photos, but you know, no one ever is, fuck. And but I was always with her for her personality. But yeah, we pretty much get on like long lost friends, and you know, everything goes fan-fucking-tastic. One of the best days of my life. I've had better days than that since, but at the time it was the best day I'd ever had in my entire life. It was just like, wow, this chick is the best. And it went on, you know, it was a cold day, it was kind of shit outside, but we made the most of it. And when I went to take her to the bus and stuff and put her on there, we kissed, and it was absolutely amazing. It was like one of those things, and I was just like, thank you fucking Lord. I was just like, I was blessed. Just everything. I had something that maybe 100 guys wanted, you know, as a semi-demi, almost famous Yu-Gi-Oh girl who's actually kind of hot and, you know, smart and all that shit. And yeah, so I've done that. It's about 10 p.m. and I go back to the train station and I'm like, oh shit, there's no more trains home. Fuck. And at this point it's 10 p.m. So I'm like, fuck, what do I do? What do I actually do? And, you know, I don't know anything at this point. I'm 17 years old. I know fucking nothing about the world. So I'm like, what do I do now? I was like, maybe I should just sleep in the train station. And I'm like, yeah, okay. And I was like, all right, let's walk around for a while. And I walk around Exeter for a while. Exeter's a fucking scary place at night, and it was freezing, and my feet fucking hurt. And like, I was the most tired ever. I was just like, I want this to be over. I just want to go home. I want to go home. I want to go home. Yeah, you know, I mean, I look back and I think I never want that night to happen again. But this is just the start. So I go back to the train station, and the guy, oops. The security guy at the train station says, we're closing the train station. I'm like, what the fuck? Train stations don't close. And for some reason, maybe this specific weekend, they decided to have construction work done on the train station. I'm like, oh fuck. So they're closing the train station. I'm like, what do I do now? And at this point, I'd already taken these sedatives because I had problems sleeping back when I was young. So I'd already taken these sedatives, so I was absolutely fucked. I was like, oh fuck, what do I do now? So I'm pretty much thrown out of the train station, and I find this bench at the front of the train station. I'm like, I guess I'm gonna have to sleep here, you know. And it's absolutely freezing horrible, and I'm just like, I'm trying to get to sleep, and put my backpack on my legs, and you know, and I'm just like, close my eyes, and try and do it for 20 minutes, you know, lights everywhere, it's horrible. And then, whack, right on my legs, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? And it's these two fucking drunk guys, and they're like, oh, you fucking tramp, and they keep throwing their fucking beer cans at me. And I'm like, I am absolutely out of it by this point, you know, these sedatives are kicked in, I'm like, absolutely fucking out of it. So, I'm like, what the fuck do I do? And I'm, you know, trying to get away from them. They're chasing me, and I somehow make it into the train station. You know, I like find this little gap that allows you in, and I don't know, they didn't chase me in for some reason. I'm glad they didn't. And I'm there. I found my way back in to, like, it's, you know, it's just you know, stony train station. It's not inside or anything. It's just, you know, if there was rain, you wouldn't get rained on. And I find the security guard there, and I go up to him. And I don't think I've ever pretty much begged anyone in my entire life for anything. But this man, I was like, please, they are gonna fucking kill me if I go out there. And the guys are like, well, and the guy's been in this really nice warm place. The guy says, you could go behind that wall and go to sleep on a bench, and I'll pretend I didn't see you, as if he was doing me a favour. And I was like, I'd take anything at this point. I was about to get fucking killed by some guys. And so I go behind, and I lie down. And I don't know why I didn't realise this before. It might have been just because I was so fucking happy to be there. But all I heard was really loud fucking trains coming in and out, and I realised they're doing construction work here. And it was so fucking loud. If I go to a train station now and I hear any construction work, it reminds me of that night. It's like embedded into my head. So I'm there trying to sleep, it's freezing cold, horrible, the fucking biggest noise, lights, everything. And I'm trying to get some sleep. I'm like, oh, this is horrible. I keep waking up every 20 minutes. And, you know, eventually it's 6 o'clock in the morning. I probably did sleep for about 2 hours or something. And I feel like shit. Like you would if you were in a hoodie and you'd been sleeping on a hard bench, horrible noises around you and all that shit. And I wake up at 6 a.m. and I'm like, McDonald's opens at 6, so that's warm. And I go to McDonald's and I'm just fucked. I'm fucked by this point. Going to McDonald's and I realise, oh shit, computers. And this is 2005, that if for any of you that don't know, I'm absolutely fucking ancient. This is when I was 17, 18 in 2005. So, they have computers, and I'm like, wow, this is amazing. And I sit down at them, you know, pay fucking, I can't believe how much it cost. It was like £3 for half an hour or something. Get my breakfast, and no. And I start mailing the check, and she's all like, oh, blah, blah. And then something, boom, in my mind. I'm like, oh my god, I could see her again. Oh my fucking god, I'm so fucking happy at this point. Everything that happened in the previous night, everything is gone. I'm just like, oh, I'm so fucking happy to be here. That is a blessing in disguise. Everything, I'm so fucking happy. And, you know, we're sending emails and shit, and I'm all like, okay, let's check the bus times. And there's 2 buses to her house, because she lives in the fucking sticks. She lives out in the middle of nowhere. So there was 1 in the morning and 1 at night. So the only one I could ever catch is the morning one. So, because it was a Sunday as well. So I'm like, okay, I'll get that one, and I tell her what time it is, and we just email back and forth, and it's really nice, and you know, it's like, oh, I missed you, I can't wait to see you again, blah, 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 all that shit. I'm so fucking happy, you have no idea. And then, I get an email, and it says, quite simply, Shane, wasn't your bus in 5 minutes? And I look down at the time, and I'm like, no, it's not, it's in an hour, and I'm like, phew. I grab my bag and I fucking fly out of there. And I fly out of there and I start running. I'm like, wait a minute. I have no idea where I fucking am. This is Exeter. I don't know where I am. And I go up to this really old lady and I'm like, which way is Exeter St. David's? Which way? And she's like, in which felt like for fucking ever. It was like the longest thing ever. And she was like, I think it's down there. And I'm like, I'm gone. And I start running. I'm running down this fucking really, really steep hilly bit along this road, and I'm going. And by this point, it's good to mention that my backpack is full of my prized, like, thousands of pounds worth of Yu-Gi-Oh cards, all in this nice sealed tin. Big tin, you could probably fit about 200-300 cards in it. And anyway, I'm running down the road, running as fast as I can. And then I feel something coming out of my backpack. And it's like a slow motion in a movie. I was like, no. Turning and trying to catch it. And it goes smack right onto the floor. They go everywhere. And this is the point where I'm like, oh my god, what do I do? This is where I go, is it Yu-Gi-Oh cards that cost me thousands of pounds that I love? Or is it the girl? Do I want the girl? And I'm pretty much standing there like about to run and then going back and I'm like, oh shit, what do I do? What do? And I just grab a fucking handful, like scooping them up as I run. Like one scoop and run. And I'm like, you know, just jamming them on my bag. I'm running, I'm fucking trying to get there. And I get there and I'm like, oh. And I just see the bus going around the corner, and I don't think I've ever been that. I was so upset that I wasn't upset anymore. It was like, this is just normal. This is just what this weekend's all been, you know? Stone-faced. And I phoned her, I was like, it wasn't like, oh, I'm really sorry, I can't come and see it. It was like, I'm not coming to see you, I missed the bus. I was done. It was fucking over. It was the worst weekend of my entire life. You know, even though I kissed her and I was with her and, you know, we got together after that, well, kinda, pretty much. It's still the worst weekend of my fucking entire life. It's just like one after another thing goes wrong. And oh my fucking god. I love that story. Alright, it was fun to recap that actually. So now you guys know what probably the worst weekend of my life is. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this because I enjoyed telling it again. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.